Hello and welcome to another Smite 2 God Guide. Today we're playing Chiron in Carry. So as always we will start off with Chiron's passive. It's a pretty easy one. Every 12 seconds he gets a little one of these leaves. Whenever you use an ability it's going to pass out a little heal to the lowest HP ally in the area. So it's not one to really look at or concentrate on. It's relatively simple. I'm going to be careful just here of the pluck. Because he probably will look out for us here. Okay, I did get plucked, but that's fine. Unfortunately, I disconnected when we started this game, so I've missed a wave and the purple and all sorts. So unfortunately, we're at a slight disadvantage here, but we will truck on regardless, because that's what you do here. So yeah, every time you get one of those things, it heals an ally, and it also gives them a little bit of extra power. So it's really useful. It's not one to really concentrate on. It's just going to keep recharging after every 12 seconds. So it's not one to be super keep an eye on. But it is one just to keep in the back of your mind. I wasn't concentrating on this. Apologies, Baron, for not coming to do this. There we go. Lovely stuff. So, the rest of his kit, pretty easy. There's not a lot to go through. I'll just clear this wave. He's going to try and... Oh, I saw that coming and still got caught. Well, that's what happens when you know the Sobek pluck's coming. His number one is you put a circle on the floor. Any allies stood in that circle will be granted CC immunity, which means they can't be plucked, which means they can't be... knocked back, knocked up, any of that sort of stuff. It means they have full CC immunity, so that's really handy. We're just going to do some ping damage here. Like that. I'm going to run away, because he is going to come for me. Yeah, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. We're at a disadvantage. We're going to have to play further back just because A, it's a Sobek, and B, we did lose a lot of XP in the beginning. Oh, you missed. We'll take a couple of free shots of him, no problem. We'll do that. So yes, so his number one, as I was saying, it's a circle that you can put on the floor. Any allies in it, it will grant CC immunity to, and any enemies in it, after 1 second, it'll do a little bit of damage to them. It's not a huge damage, just a little bit of damage, but it does mark them, oh, as if that got me, for the number, Chiron's number 2, which is the important one, which I shall go through in a minute, once I've just cleared these out. His number 2. Now I got his number 3 next, his dash. Because we are behind, it's more important to get the dash online than it is to get anything else online. I'm sort of just hanging around here because Mercury is knocking about. So anything I could do to help. Uh-oh. Okay. I did not hear him go up in the air, but that's fine. Never mind. Right, we want the old Transcendence. Now is as good a time as any to buy a award. So far, no good in this right-hand lane. So, I'll go through his number 3 next. It's a charge forward. You're going to gallop in a straight line. Any enemies that you hit, they'll do a little bit of damage. And it will kick enemies backwards. So it will knock them behind you. And that's the important bit, is that it knocks them behind you. So you can sort of get them out of position, but it does mean that you are also out of position because you're having to run through an enemy in order to get them to be behind you. So it's a little bit risky, but it can be useful for chasing people down. It's quite a long dash. It's a bit like a RTO dash if you played RTO. It's in the bear form. She's got a really long dash. It's a bit like that in how it controls. It's sort of like a gallop forward. And a lovely time. So that's pretty much the dash. The important thing to note with the dash is that while you're dashing, you can still basic attack. So if you're chasing someone down, you can still basic attack, and that's quite an important bit of his kit to know, because it does come in handy when you're chasing someone down. You can still attack them with just your regular left click damage. Now, his number 2 is where it gets a little complicated. It's not overly complicated, but it's his most complicated ability. So as you can see, every time I hit someone with an ability or with a basic attack, it gets that little crosshair on them. And what that means is that they are marked for damage. And as you can see, I'm trying to mark everyone. Then when I press my 2, I shoot up little sort of arrows into the air that hits everyone that has been marked. So it's really... Oh, man. There was no getting out of that. That's the second gank we've had, unfortunately. It was quite a good... oh, he might get this Sobek here. If he can do the... Oh, he should have stuck on that Dobek to just do the damage. But never mind. I think he might have got him there. But never mind. 850. Oh, we'll wait for 20. So yeah, that's the sort of first thing it'll do, right? Then once you've got over 250 strength, you can fire a second larger arrow in a targeted area, which deals more damage basically. You can shoot it up to 4 targets, which is really handy. And then the final one is once you've got 2.5 attack speed, so you might not necessarily get both of these. It sort of depends what your build is. It becomes Masterful Flurry, firing 3 arrows with lower scaling quickly at each target. So it's more of like a rapid pow 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 sort of shot. So very handy. As you can see, we do decent damage now with the Transcendence. We are going to have to stack it. So he is very much an ability-based god. So early game, you're not going to be doing that much until you've got your Transcendence online, until you've got your stacks up. He's one of those that's... You can do damage early game, don't get me wrong, if you've got a good support, if you've got a good team around you. But he's going to really come into his own once all of his items and he's got full damage online. I'm just going to pop at this Sobek a little bit. It's quite... You can't really turn, as you saw there, with the ultimate. Sorry, with the dash. Oh my god, he's back. I'm just going to CC ult this just so I can try and get out of here. And I did, so... He didn't quite follow up with enough, but that's fine. That is the third rotation round this Thor's done to our side, so that's fine. The more he wants to come, that's absolutely fine with me, because it means he's leaving everyone else alone, and they'll all be fine. So I'm going to run back to lane here, because my teleport is up. Well, there's 3 people in lane. There's no point me teleporting to that tower at the moment, because there is 3 people over here. So we're just gonna play it cool. We're just going to walk into that, because why not? Baron's back. There is a lot of people over here. This could be a bit of a juicy fight, but we don't really want to fight anything here. Thor is going up in the air. We'll see where he comes down. He's looking at me. He went for the Baron that is just way too far up. Yep, that was not a surprise. We knew he was in the air. I probably could have let the Baron know, but... Never mind. We are just sort of doing our job here. Our job is just to not die now. It's just to farm up and not die. It's going to be a boring game, but it's what we're going to have to do until we get some more stuff. So, his final ability, his ultimate, is the big one. It's really handy. So, you're basically going to go into a sort of constellation mode in which you're going to be able to fire 3 shots that do pretty good damage at an enemy. Now, once you've finished your ultimate, one of 2 things is going to happen, right? You're either going to be alive and be fine. In fact, I guess it's technically 3 things. When your ultimate finishes, there's potential that if you died while you were in your ultimate, you're going to be dead. You can't die mid-ultimate. So if you've only fired 2 shots off, you can't die yet. Right, that's the important note, is you've got to take all 3, or unless your ultimate runs out of time, right? But you can't die as long as you're still within your ultimate. Okay, if you do die within your ultimate, you won't actually die. You'll get to 0 HP, but you won't die. As soon as your ultimate finishes, then you're dead, and there's no coming back, unless you've killed an enemy god in your ultimate mode. So if you're in your ultimate, you kill an enemy god with, let's say, the second shot, you shoot a shot, you get the kill confirmed. Even if you die in the ultimate now, even if you drop to 0 health, when the ultimate finishes, you'll then be back up to full health. So I'm just going to try and follow him here, because I reckon I can get him here. Or not quite, because he used his... oh my god, they're all here again. There's literally 4 of them over here. Okay, I guess we're just not allowed to play this game in this lane. That's fine. I'm just gonna have to be super careful now. Maybe I shouldn't have dashed in. I know that people come over here all the time, so I'm just gonna have to play it really safe now. Our Baron is not a great support, which doesn't help. But we'll see. We'll see. I've got the teleport up now, so I will be able to get back a little quicker. We have got both the middle and the jungler over here, so we will try and get involved in this if we can. Which I don't think we can unless they're going to chase the Neath, which they are not. No, they're not. That's fine. We're going to try and secure our camps because that's the important bit. I used my 2 too early there, so the 1 second cool, the sort of the number 1 pops after 1 second, and so what I did was I put my 1 down and then I popped my number 2 to do the instant damage, but I'd not actually let my 1 finish casting yet, so that was a bit of a mistake from me. That is something to look out from. You'll probably see me do that a couple of times because that's just how it is. I'm going to start rotating around now because my lane is practically lost. I just sort of need to wait for them to be at the tower. So I'm going to start rotating around, trying to help out the team instead of anything else. There's not much I can really do. We actually did okay there. We're going to get this kill, which is good. That will help us get some XP and some gold to try and farm up. Is always getting the kill secure is always nice. You know, there's no real such thing as kill steal in Smite, to be honest. There's kill secures, sure, but is there such thing as a kill steal? I don't know. But we're just going to be a little bit bold and brave here, just because we know Mercury's knocking about. We can be pretty confident that Thor is fighting over in the left lane because I can see him on my map, so we don't have to worry about him. Sobek's just died, so we've only got the Chiron to worry about. And to be honest, if the Chiron does come and try and start some shit, we've got our Mercury backing us up, who has just gone home, but never mind. So, yeah, wave clear. You're number 1, you're number 2. You're pretty much going to clear it. I'm still trying to stack Transcendence, which is not good for 13 minutes into the game. I've just not really been able to farm as much as I would like. So, we are a little bit slow going here. And I'm going to be careful now because now I don't know where anyone is. So, I'm just not going to risk it. And I'm going to go home and wait for my minions to push myself back up. We're going to go back into mid lane and have a little cheeky look, see if anyone's knocking about. We'll try and get some farm on the way. And that's pretty much all you need to know about Chiron. I'll explain his ultimate again, just really quickly. You're going to get 3 shots in a sort of corporeal form. If you get a kill, once your ultimate's finished, you won't die, even if you got dropped to 0 health. If you didn't get a kill, you will die. Damn. Never mind. I'll be careful here because there's 4 of them, but I did do some decent damage onto the Sobek. So that's okay. As I say, I'm not quite... Oh, he's going to ult, I think, onto this Mercury. No, he didn't. We are going to lose this tower. I'm going to try and help a little bit if I can, just to clear those minions, which I did. So we might just save that tower a little bit. But we're just going to keep farming. If we lose that tower, we lose that tower. At this point, I'm not too fussed about it, in all honesty. I just want to get the farm. I want to build my stacks. The point of carry is you want to be bold at the end of the game. You want to be strong. Because I already died 3 times in the early game really quickly and really sillily. Sillily? I'm just going to try and farm up, basically. I just want to get my Transcendence online, which it now is online. Start to build my other items, and I'll start packing a punch eventually, which is what we're all here for, you know, like this. So we're just going to be careful. Every time we've just got enough money to buy something, we're just going to go back and buy something. We're not gonna try and be crazy here. I've not really got a build. I don't know if Hydra will really work on Chiron. Again, I'm not really going through the builds. Ability-based hunter, he is. So you want to be building sort of ability-based things. Not, you know, he doesn't necessarily work the best in carry, I don't think. I think he's a pretty good jungler, because of his charge, and he's got a little bit of CC. He's just got sort of global, not global damage, but certainly guaranteed damage, which is always good. You can just press your number 2, and it just hits them no matter where they are. I'm going to let people know that Chiron is missing, just so in that fight they don't get any unexpected Chirons. But while everyone is fighting over there, I am going to take the opportunity to do some farming. Hopefully we can come out of that fight on top. It does not look good for us, but... Oh, Chiron is here, which is fine. We seem to be doing pretty well against him, but we'll still be careful. They've got a double kill over there. That's fine. We are losing the game pretty hard. But as I say, we're just trying to make it to the end of the game, really. It doesn't look likely. There's a good chance of surrender for this game. There is 4 of them in mid, and the Neath is still under tower. But that's fine. You know, it's not like she could go anywhere else, to be fair. But I'm just going to take the farm. We're not going to be able to defend that tower. Just give it up. You know, it's not worth dying over. This Bellona dies here. We're going to lose the ritual. But while people are just stood in the tower watching, they're not getting any farm. You know, they're not getting any XP, they're not getting any gold. Well, they're getting passive gold, but whereas I'm just constantly active, constantly getting farm, constantly doing stuff, constantly trying to help the team, trying to boost me up, and all that good stuff. So I'm going to go back now. So that's what it's about. When you're behind in a game, you don't want to be taking silly fights. This is key that not a lot of Smite players seem to understand. We don't need to have this fight in mid because we're going to lose because we're behind, right? So it's silly to even try and take the fight. There's a Mulan behind us, which I'm going to let them know about, and hopefully we can do something here, which I think we will be able to. We'll be able to get this Mulan, and then we can leave. We got the kill, we leave, you know? We don't die. That's the key here, is that we don't die, you know? We do as much damage as we can. We hear them all charging in, so we're just not going to take the death. There's only me and Baron here. There's a good chance they're going to come around the back, so we'll just let them have the tower. We'll not surrender yet because it's not technically over. It feels pretty over, but it's not technically over. I mean, again, he's just gone right in. It's no good. I'm just gonna see. We're just going to do a little... Oh, we surrendered. Fair enough. Well, that was a very short God guide, I'm afraid. It'll probably just be a run through the abilities sort of guide. If you want to see a more in-depth guide on sort of a full game from the start to the end, let me know in the comments. But until then, thanks all for watching, and I shall see you next time.